Hey, how's it going, brothers and sisters? So, in this video, I wanted to talk about two main topics. That is the importance of discipleship and lukewarmness. So, I want to talk about how those two things kind of played out in my early Christian walk. So, I did post my testimony on this channel. I mentioned that I got saved when I was 18. That was late 2011. So after I got saved, I look back and I really feel like the first maybe 4 or 5 years of that time, I really lacked discipleship. And with that, also fellowship. And therefore, I feel like it really kind of left me in a lukewarm state. Um, During the time, though, I never thought I was lukewarm or living as a lukewarm Christian. So I I wasn't at that place deliberately, but it was more ignorantly. Basically, when I first got saved, I was going to a Bible church, the one that I came to know the gospel in. I was going there some weeks, but other weeks I was still staying home and going to our home meetings as a family. Um, I guess it was kind of like our church, but we always called it meetings. So I think that's one of the things that led me to really not grow as much as I should have for a while. Because I mentioned in my testimony that my dad, he would conduct these meetings we would do at home as a family, and we were fundamental Mormons. So my dad, he believed in the Bible and the Book of Mormon. And so therefore I was still going home and listening to that, listening to those teachings, and then going to the Bible church. Not really realizing right away that um there's clear opposing uh, doctrines in Mormonism and biblical Christianity. So, because I was not consistently going to the Bible church, I feel that I was not really giving good opportunity to build friendships there and allow good fellowship and discipleship to really be a part of my life. Um, had I done that, I think I would have really kind of grown a lot more and just realized more the differences with the true gospel and what I had been taught all my life before getting saved. Now, that was just like a part of it. Something else that I got involved with as a new believer was, well, it was actually a number of things. So it was a number of things that is you can find in the New Age. Um, all my life, my family has been quite a bit into astrology and the horoscopes. Um, and so that's something I was kind of involved with still as a new believer. And, eventually God had to convict me that that's something I should not be involved with as a Christian. And I just kind of came to realize more how much the devil has really perverted the signs and the zodiac with the horoscope and all that. Especially with how much people do make all that a idol. Um, People always wanted to check their daily horoscope and seeing what it says, seeing if it says it's a good day to go shopping or it's a good day to go spend some alone time, or maybe it mentions you will meet your future spouse that day or something, you know. I think people have really turned that into an idol. And um I mean, the Bible mentions a lot of things against idolatry. um I didn't really look at the scripture before, but oh gosh, I think it's in one of the epistles of John. It might be the first epistle, where towards the end, at the end, he tells them to um, abstain from idols. Um, I'm sorry, I kind of butchered that. I wasn't really ready to quote that passage. Anyway, so that was something I was involved with. I also got involved with meditation, more like New Age meditation, where I'm focusing a lot on myself. And with this meditation, I was going as far as trying to open up my third eye, um, you know, open up my pineal gland. And I was also really trying to achieve inner peace with those meditational practices. And I thought that I was achieving that at first, but it seemed like the more I got into that, the more I actually felt without peace and just uneasy on the inside. And I really believe that that's because I was focusing a lot on myself and I was taking my focus back off Christ. Um, so I also got into this practice called sun gazing. Many people may not have heard of sun gazing unless you are into New Age, then perhaps you have. I think I want to do a separate video about that, kind of how I got into that and how God convicted me that that was not of Him and even spiritually dangerous. And it's amazing because kind of throughout this whole time period, um, first 4 or 5 years after I got saved, just with all those things that I did ignorantly, seems like time and time after again, God would convict me that I shouldn't be involved with that. And it seemed like he just kept showing me that I need to focus on him. Because basically, what I was doing was I was one of those Christians that kind of put Jesus in my pocket and then I kind of try to do my own thing, or I let myself get enticed with all these um, practices and whatnot. And it's amazing. Multiple times I just I became broken when God would show me these things were wrong. And I just was broken feeling God's love for me and Him looking out for me, and just how much He kept showing me it's all about Him and that I need to I need to focus on Him. I can't just put Jesus in my pocket and then go do life my way. Um so anyway, I do feel like I was lukewarm for a while. Um, and yeah, just looking back, I I realized more how important it was to be in good, consistent discipleship and fellowship, and how much more I could have grown in that. Um, I want to actually read a Bible passage. So I think the Bible has a lot to say about gathering together with the saints. This Bible verse I want to read is in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. Oh, this is the KJV, by the way. It says, "And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching." Um, so yeah, like it says, it's really showing the importance of gathering together, um, and that's something that, yeah, again, I feel like I really lacked growth because I was not in a good, solid Christian fellowship and meeting with the fellowship of the saints regularly. Um, and with lukewarmness, I believe the Bible is pretty serious about that too. Um, some of us may be familiar with the Bible passage in Revelation. I'll go ahead and read that. So, in Revelation chapter 3, I wanted to read verses 15 and 16, something that Jesus mentions about lukewarmness when he was writing to the church of Laodicea. He says, "I know thy works, that thou art neither cold or hot. I would that you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth." I know in the Greek, it's actually pretty vulgar. Basically, literally means I will vomit you out of my mouth. And um, yeah, I think it's pretty clear how serious it is to really live a life um, for Christ and live a life that shows that you're not on the fence straddling, but that that you really have put on Christ, and that um, you don't just put him in your pocket and do your own thing, but you put Christ on you like a life jacket and completely trust in him to save you and get you through this journey. I think that's all I want to say about that. I do hope that this could be a encouragement to someone, especially someone that might have or has gone through or is going through something similar to what I did. So, yeah. With all that, thanks for watching. Um, God bless you, and I hope to see you in the next video.